How are you guys doing? It is Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. I here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to walk you through all of the statistical leaders in the NFL through the first 2 weeks. I'm planning on doing this every other week because I feel like if I do it every week, it's too often, and if I don't do it, I feel like if I do it like every 4 weeks, it wouldn't be often enough. So I'm just going to take you every 2 weeks just to show you who's leading in what statistical category and just the pace at which they're going. So first, starting off with 2020, I'm going to start just with the passing stats right now, starting with passing yards. Right now, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills leads the league in passing yards with 729 passing yards on the season. Right behind him, you have Matt Ryan in second, who is with 723. And third is Dak Prescott with 716. In fourth place, you have Teddy Bridgewater of the Carolina Panthers with 636 yards. And Russell Wilson is fifth in the NFL with 610 passing yards so far. Right now, looking at completion percentage, out of these quarterbacks for who's done the best out of the quarterbacks that are eligible so far, Russell Wilson completing 82% of his passes so far, which is incredible. In second place is Lamar Jackson, who's completed 77% of his passes. In third place is Phillip Rivers, who's completed Lamar Jackson completed 77.6% of his passes. Phillip Rivers is third, who's completed 77.5% of his passes. Gardner Minshew of the Jaguars is third in the NFL, completing 75% of his passes, and Derek Carr of the Las Vegas Raiders is fifth, completing 73.5% of his passes so far this season. Right now, looking at who's leading the league in passing touchdowns, Russell Wilson has the most passing touchdowns in all of football. He has 9 of them. And then tied for second, you have Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans, Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons, Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT level quarterback from Green Bay, Gardner Minshew from Jacksonville, and Josh Allen from Buffalo all have 6 touchdowns on the season. So far, looking at the interception leaders so far on the season, right now Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins lead the league in interceptions. They both have 4 interceptions so far. And then tied for third, you have Phillip Rivers of the Indianapolis Colts, Daniel Jones of the New York Giants, Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Miami Dolphins, and Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all have 3 interceptions on the season so far. Right now, just taking a look at passer rating, Russell Wilson has the best rate in all of football. He has a 140. Lamar Jackson has a 134.6 passer rating, and then Josh Allen has a 122.9 passer rating. That's good enough for third. Ryan Tannehill is fourth with a 120.7 rating, and Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT quarterback from Green Bay, has a 119.4 QBR. Looking to who leads the league in first down plays, Matt Ryan has the most first downs in all of football. He's thrown for 38 first downs. Dak Prescott, second in the league with 34, tied with Joe Burrow. Josh Allen is fourth with 32 of them, and then tied for fifth are Gardner Minshew of the Jaguars, Patrick Mahomes, the elite quarterback from the Kansas City Chiefs, Daniel Jones from the New York Giants, Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Miami Dolphins, and Teddy Bridgewater all have thrown for 31 first downs. In terms of passes of over 20 yards, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills leads the league in passes of over 20 yards with 12 of them. Jared Goff is second with 11. Matt Ryan, the elite quarterback from Atlanta, is third with 10 of them. And then tied for fourth are GOAT quarterback Aaron Rodgers and then Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at passes of 40 yards or more, Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT quarterback from Green Bay, and Josh Allen of Buffalo are both tied for the lead with 3 40-yard passes on the season. And then tied for third are Matt Ryan, the elite quarterback from the Atlanta Falcons, Kyler Murray, the reigning offensive rookie of the year from the Arizona Cardinals, and Jimmy Garoppolo, the reigning NFC champion for the 49ers. So far, the longest pass of the year has gone to Ben Roethlisberger, who's thrown an 84-yard pass. Second in the league is Jimmy Garoppolo with a 76-yarder. Third is Teddy Bridgewater, who's thrown a 75-yarder. Sam Darnold is fourth, who's had a 69-yard pass, and Ryan Tannehill is fourth with a 63-yarder. And in terms of who's been sacked the most in the NFL at the quarterback position, Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson lead the league in time sacked. They've both been sacked 8 times so far. Daniel Jones from the New York Giants and Dwayne Haskins of the Washington football team are tied for third with 7 times being sacked. And then tied for fifth, you have Gardner Minshew of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, Jeff Driscoll of the Denver Broncos, Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Teddy Bridgewater of the Carolina Panthers have all been sacked 6 times on the season. Looking out to who's leading the league in the rushing stats. Right now, Aaron Jones leads the league in rushing yards with 234 of them. In second place is Derrick Henry, who has 200 rushing yards on the season. In third, it's Ezekiel Elliott with 185 rushing yards, the elite running back from the Dallas Cowboys. In fourth is Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns with 184 yards, and Josh Jacobs from the Las Vegas Raiders is in fifth place in the league with 181 rushing yards. In terms of rushing touchdowns so far on the season, Cam Newton, the elite quarterback from the New England Patriots, and Christian McCaffrey, the elite running back from the Carolina Panthers, both lead the league in touchdowns with 4 of them. Christian McCaffrey won't play for the rest of the season as he's now out with a torn ACL, but still in second or tied for third place, Dak Prescott, the quarterback from the Dallas Cowboys, Kyler Murray, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Alvin Kamara, the running back from the New Orleans Saints, Aaron Jones, the running back from the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs, the running back from the Las Vegas Raiders, and Dalvin Cook, the running back from the Minnesota Vikings, are all tied for third with 3 touchdowns so far in the season through 2 games. Looking at rushes of 20 yards or more, currently Kyler Murray, the quarterback from the Arizona Cardinals, and Nick Chubb, the running back from the Cleveland Browns, are the only 2 players with 3 rushes of over 20 yards. And then tied for second, you have Russell Wilson, the quarterback from the elite quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks, Benny Snell, the running back from, I believe, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Adrian Peterson, the running back from the Detroit Lions, Kareem Hunt of the Cleveland Browns, and Leonard Fournette of the Jacksonville Jaguars all have 2 rushes of over 20 yards or more. And then looking at who's leading the league in rushes of 40 yards or more, there have only been 7 players with 1. And I'll wait until someone leads that statistical category to get into that. And so far, looking at who's leading the league in the longest runs of the season, Raheem Mostert has an 80-yard run on the season. Aaron Jones is a 75-yarder, and James Conner has a 59-yarder. That's really kind of all you need to know now. I guess the 4th longest is Jerick McKinnon, and then Leonard Fournette has the 5th longest run of the season with a 46-yarder. In terms of who's run for the most first downs on the season, the leader of that goes to Cam Newton, the elite quarterback from the New England Patriots, who's tied with Josh Jacobs, the running back from the Las Vegas Raiders, and Ezekiel Elliott, the elite running back for the Dallas Cowboys. In 4th place is Malcolm Brown, the running back from the Los Angeles Rams, with 11 of them, and Kareem Hunt has the 5th most rushing first downs with 10 of them so far on the season. And looking at who's leading the league in rushing fumbles, there's a few players with 2 of them. Benny Snell, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Lock, Ezekiel Elliott, Derek Carr, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen all have 2 rushing fumbles so far in the season. Looking at who's leading the league in receiving stats so far through 2 weeks, DeAndre Hopkins, the elite wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, leads the league in receptions. He has 22 of them. Darren Waller, the tight end from the Las Vegas Raiders, is second in the league in receptions. He has 18 of them. Devontae Adams from the Green Bay Packers has 17 of them, which is good enough for third. And then tied for 4th, you have Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons, Stephon Diggs from the Buffalo Bills, and Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at who's leading the league in receiving yards so far on the season, Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons leads the league in receiving yards. He's tied with Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills. They're both sitting at 239 receiving yards on the season. Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots is 3rd in the league with 236 receiving yards on 13 receptions. Robbie Anderson is 4th with 223 of them, and DeAndre Hopkins, the elite wide receiver, from the Arizona Cardinals, is 5th with 219 of them. There's only 5 receivers with 200 receiving yards so far in the season, averaging over 100 yards a game. Looking at receiving touchdowns, Calvin Ridley currently leads the league in receiving touchdowns with 4 of them from the Atlanta Falcons. Jonnu Smith from the Tennessee Titans, Tyler Higbee, Chris Carson from the Seattle Seahawks are all tied for second with 3, and that's Tyler Higbee, the tight end from the Los Angeles Rams. In terms of receptions of over 20 yards or more, Stephon Diggs has the most. He has 5 of them. Calvin Ridley and Terry McLaurin from San Francisco both have 4 receptions of 20 yards or more. And then Robert Woods, Preston Williams. There's a bunch of receivers that have 3 receptions of 20 yards or more. In terms of receptions of 40 yards or more. So far, Marquez Valdez-Scantling from the Green Bay Packers is the only player in the league with two 40-yard receptions. The longest reception of the season so far goes to Chase Claypool, who had an 84-yard reception this season. In terms of who leads the league in receiving reception first downs, Calvin Ridley has the most. He has 16 of them. All 16 of his receptions have gone for first downs. DeAndre Hopkins is second with 13 of them, for the elite wide receiver from Arizona. Russell Gage from the Atlanta Falcons is third with 12 of them, and then tied for fourth are Darren Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders and Julian Edelman of the New England Patriots and Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills. Jumping out to the defensive side of the ball, Devin White currently leads the league in tackles. He has 26 of them. Christian Kirksey from Green Bay is second, as he has 24 of them through 2 games. And then tied for third, you have Jalen Smith from the Cowboys, Eric Hendricks from the Minnesota Vikings, and you have Micah Kiser from the Los Angeles Rams, who all have 23 tackles on the season so far. Right now, looking at who leads the league in sacks, Chase Young, the young defensive end for the young elite defensive end for the Washington football team, and T.J. Watt, the defensive end the linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, both lead the league with 2.5 sacks. And there are a bunch of players sitting with 2 sacks, but Chase Young and T.J. Watt currently lead the league in sacks so far in the season. Looking at interceptions, so far L'Jarius Sneed from the Kansas City Chiefs is the only player in the league that has 2 interceptions on the season. A bunch of players have 1, but of course I'm not going to get into that because there's so many of them. Looking at field goals made, Young Hoiaku, the kicker from Atlanta, currently leads the league in field goals made, or he's tied with Rodrigo Blankenship from the Indianapolis Colts, but Ko is 6 for 6 and Blankenship is 6 for 7. And then you have Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker, Randy Bullock, and Mike Badgley, who have 5 field goals made so far on the season. And looking at the best kicker from 40 yards out is Young Hoiaku. For the Falcons, he has 6 made field goals, and he's 4 for 4 when he's kicking from at least 40 yards out on the season. And so far, the longest field goal of the season has gone to Harrison Butker of the Kansas City Chiefs, who made a 58-yarder on the season. So with that, those are kind of the stats I wanted to take you through. But with that said, I appreciate you for listening to all 13 minutes of this piece. Once again, it is September 22nd, 2020 out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. I hope everyone's doing well. Once again, thanks for hearing my piece. Peace out.